Greetings, everybody. I'm Chief Darrell McSwain of the Maryland National Capital Park Police Montgomery County Division. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2020 Park Police Annual Awards Program. It is my delight to share with you today acts of bravery, courage, ingenuity, and simply unselfishness that our men and women have consistently demonstrated throughout 2020 and continue to do so today. So we don't take it lightly that you've taken time to join us. We encourage you to sit back and enjoy the outstanding efforts of our men and women of the Park Police. Thank you very much.
Mrs. McCord is being recognized for her outstanding performance and service to the Montgomery County Division of the Park Police. Throughout 2020, Mrs. McCord has served as the division's budget specialist. In this role, she proactively monitored and controlled the Park Police budget. She tracked purchases made by the division and kept Park Police senior command staff aware of new budget and hiring constraints brought on by the COVID pandemic. Mrs. McCord has developed a large network of contacts throughout the commission, which she is able to call upon to assist with Park Police matters. Throughout the pandemic, new labor codes and leave types were frequently added or changed, causing confusion with the payroll process. Mrs. McCord could always be counted upon to review and correct errors, ensuring that time cards were accurately completed for submission through Kronos. In addition to her normal responsibilities, Mrs. McCord took on the additional challenges of updating all divisional directives and standard operating procedures. She reviewed, corrected, and updated directives for each branch of the agency. In the fall of 2020, the chief's administrative assistant resigned, leaving a large void for the agency to fill. Mrs. McCord graciously offered to help and stepped in to fulfill the administrative functions for the office of the chief. Mrs. McCord determined that there were overdue annual performance appraisals and missing administrative paperwork to compensate officers for back pay for work they had performed. Additionally, she played a significant role in selecting, interviewing, and completing hiring paperwork for the chief's new administrative assistant. Mrs. McCord can often be found working hours beyond her assigned schedule to complete assignments in a timely manner. She is an informal leader within the agency who is often the go-to person for her civilian peers, sworn department members, and command staff. Her institutional knowledge, work ethic, and can-do attitude make her an invaluable member of the Park Police. Mrs. McCord is truly the unsung hero of the Park Police who's able to keep the agency running smoothly.
Sergeant Miracle Gratton is assigned to the Special Operations Section. During any given year, she is out in the community hundreds of times, interacting with youth and adults alike at recreation centers, schools, and neighborhood community events. Not only does she allow youth and adults to pet her horse Brumby, she also takes time to provide demonstrations and easy-to-understand instruction of the equine discipline. Although the COVID-19 pandemic curtailed several planned in-person events in 2020, it did not stop Sergeant Gratton. In April 2020, Sergeant Gratton participated in the Sequoia Elementary School Virtual Career Day and was featured on the NBC News 4 Today show with reporter Millette Green in the Live in the Community segment. During the show's airing, Sergeant Gratton demonstrated expertise and garnered genuine rapport with the students virtually. Sergeant Gratton also worked with her staff to create 4 separate Park Police videos regarding a barn tour, motors, canine search and rescue, and canine explosive ordnance. In addition to serving as our lead Park Police Community Day coordinator, in which we take several aspects of our operations into the community for a day of show and tell, Sergeant Gratton has been instrumental in developing our in-house Autism and Intellectual or Developmental Disability IDD program. For her sincere love of the community, ingenuity in trying times, and an ongoing positive example, I congratulate Sergeant Gratton on your Community Engagement Award.
The Commission's Inspector General's office notified the Park Police of a sensitive payroll fraud incident on March 6, 2020. The case was assigned to none other than Detective Deakins, who determined the fraud was the result of a phishing attack causing several $1,000s in losses. His investigation revealed that several other businesses were also victimized, and the U.S. postal system was used to facilitate the crimes. The investigation lasted several long months. Detective Deacon's tenacity and use of technology led him to identify and charge a suspect hundreds of miles away in the state of New York. Detective Deacon's determination and work ethic brought this complex and sensitive case to a successful closure for the commission and the employees involved. For his efforts and tenacity in solving this complex case that stretched across hundreds of miles, Detective Deacons is being presented this Commander's Award. On June 1st, 2020, 3 young adults were walking the Capitol Crescent Trail posting flyers regarding recent social events. A suspect on a bicycle argued with them and then assaulted them. During that assault, the suspect grabbed the flyers and a roll of tape from the victims. He continued to assault them with his bicycle before he fled the area. The assault was captured by one of the victims on a cell phone video and posted to a Twitter account. That post went viral and garnered national media attention. Detective Lopez was assigned the case. While the entire unit assisted in this case, no one worked harder than Detective Lopez on this case. She interviewed all the victims and obtained better quality pictures and video, which ultimately led to the identification of the suspect. The national media attention brought overwhelming exposure and scrutiny to the case. Detective Lopez screened each tip to determine if it was a potential lead. She conducted interviews with potential suspects, followed up on tips at different businesses in the area, returned calls to tipsters who left their contact information, and worked the case beyond her normal shift. While all the detectives put in work after hours, she spent approximately 30 hours outside her normal workday during those 4 days. And the fact that the case was resolved within 4 stressful days is a testament to her dedication, determination, and tenacity. Through it all, she maintained a positive and professional demeanor. When the suspect turned himself in at Park Police Headquarters, Detective Lopez was the one to receive him into custody and place charges against him. Detective Lopez is being recognized with this Commander's Award for her efforts in bringing this suspect to justice and providing closure for the victims in this incident.
This award is for Sergeant Tai Jiang. Sergeant Jiang has played a significant behind-the-scenes role keeping the Park Police technology needs running smoothly. Tai's responsibilities are far-reaching, and he can be counted on to provide assistance and advice across several divisions of the Commission, as well as outside agencies. Tai is truly a humble leader in the technology realm. Throughout this year, Sergeant Jiang has continually proven how dedicated and essential he is to the Park Police. He has intimate knowledge of numerous systems that he has implemented and maintains. Sergeant Jiang routinely adapts his schedule to ensure these systems are kept running smoothly. Sergeant Jiang is responsible for procuring and testing new technology, installing emergency equipment in fleet vehicles, programming and maintaining divisional computers and phones. Sergeant Jiang interacts with a multitude of vendors that the division uses for various technology-related projects. He is in frequent communication with the Commission's information and technology staff to resolve issues and update programs. Sergeant Jiang has often identified problems and found solutions before anyone else even knew that there was an issue. He shares those solutions with vendors and other agencies to help them protect their assets, ensuring continuity of operations. Sergeant Jiang is truly a respected professional among his peers in the technology field. Over the past year, Sergeant Jiang has accepted the new responsibilities of managing the alarm and camera shop, which was transferred to the Park Police. He has updated many aspects of the alarm and camera systems throughout Montgomery County Parks. Thank you, Sergeant Jiang, for your contributions, and congratulations on a job well done.
On June 1st, 2020, 3 young adults were walking the Capitol Crescent Trail posting flyers regarding recent social events. A suspect on a bicycle argued with them and then assaulted them. During the assault, the suspect grabbed the flyers and a roll of tape from the victims. He continued to assault them with his bicycle before he fled the area. The assault was captured by one of the victims on a cell phone and posted to a Twitter account. That post went viral and garnered national media attention. The video images were shared with multiple law enforcement agencies to help identify the suspect, but it was to no avail. Using the victim's video, CIU created a photo and a press release which inundated the CIU tip line with daily callers offering information. Detectives worked around the clock to screen each tip and follow up on each lead. On the fourth day of the investigation, CIU received a promising tip and a potential name. Using facial recognition technology and traditional investigative techniques, the detectives developed a credible suspect identity. The suspect was contacted and agreed to cooperate with the investigation with his counsel, whom he had already retained. After the investigation concluded, the suspect agreed to turn himself in to CIU detectives to be arrested and charged. The detectives worked long hours beyond their normal shifts and used advanced investigative techniques to successfully close a case that's placed a spotlight on the Commission and the Park Police and had the added pressure of attention from the national media. For their efforts to bring closure for the victims and the community in this case, the CIU detectives are being awarded this unit citation. On July 21, 2020, the detectives from the Special Assignment Team was conducting surveillance in Rockville on a subject who was a suspect in a burglary at a Commission maintenance yard. During the surveillance, SAT members observed a CDS transaction unrelated to the burglary taking place and arrested the two suspects. One of the suspects interviewed by Detective Farmer agreed to cooperate as a confidential informant, or CI, by providing information about illegal narcotic sales. In September, the CI set up a meeting to purchase illegal narcotics from a known dealer. When SAT conducted a deconfliction protocol, they learned the target of their investigation was being sought by the DEA. Because of the information the CI provided the Park Police, the DEA was able to set up an operation to take the target into custody in September. Then, on October 2, 2020, several cars were broken into at Cabin John Regional Dog Park, where the victims' credit cards were stolen and used to make fraudulent purchases. An intelligence bulletin was sent out with pictures of the unknown suspects who were captured on surveillance cameras at Montgomery Mall. Members of the SAT team recognized both subjects as the same individuals they arrested in July. Based on the information provided by SAT, the October 2nd theft from auto case was quickly closed by arrest. In addition, it was determined that the CI's accomplice was a person of interest in a homicide that Montgomery County Police were investigating. SAT detectives assisted Montgomery County Police with the information they gleaned from the suspects during their 5-month investigation. Based on all the events that occurred from July through November 2020, I'm proud to present the Unit Citation Award to Detectives Mira, Rumsey, Benson, Melara, Wigmore, and Farmer. Park Police Criminal Investigative Unit and Special Assignment Team began investigating numerous trespassing and burglary alarms at 24 Crest Park Court. It is a residential home under renovation that is situated at the end of a long gravel driveway and secluded by trees. SAT detectives installed a surveillance camera on the location, which revealed the suspect carrying a long gun. Patrol responded to burglary alarms on July 5th and 6th. A search of the property revealed items that identify the suspect as well as live ammunition. SAT installed the Arlo surveillance camera that would provide motion alerts with a live video feed. On July 8th, CIU Detective Deakins received a motion alert and observed the suspect in real time at the residence trespassing. Detective Deakins immediately notified SAT and the communications section. The suspect appeared to have the long gun with him. The property had contract employees working on the roof. The suspect, in an attempt to enter the property, threatened the contract employees with the weapon. The contractors jumped off the roof and fled into the neighborhood. As the SAT Detective Sergeant DiVincenzo approached the property on foot, the suspect got into a van and fled the area at a high rate of speed, endangering the officer on foot. SAT saturated the area, located and apprehended the suspect at New Hampshire Avenue and Powder Mill Road. The weapon was located and determined to be a crossbow-type weapon that was heavily modified to resemble a firearm. SAT and CIU detectives spent numerous hours investigating this incident and sometimes did it on their own time. This incident highlights the dedication, teamwork, and collaboration between CIU and SAT that brought this dangerous individual to justice. For their actions, Sergeant DiVincenzo, Sergeant Ahn, Detectives Deakins, Lopez, Wong, Lee, Mira, Benson, Wigmore, Malara, Rumsey, and Coops are being presented the field citation.
I will be presenting the Patrol Officer of the Year Award to Corporal Sean Carroll. Corporal Carroll is one of the most well-rounded patrol officers in the Park Police. He is the Assistant Squad Supervisor for Evening Squad 5. He performs supervisor-type duties in the absence of his shift sergeant. He submits the weekly analysis and intelligence report for his squad. Corporal Carroll was also nominated by myself and attends meetings for the Safety in the Parks subcommittees. One of the reasons he was selected for the role is his diligence in patrolling all parks to find and mark homeless encampments during the winter months so that they can be easily found during the summer months, and we can provide necessary assistance to people in need. While Corporal Carroll reviews and improves many of his shift's reports, he also maintains a high level of park checks, citations, and reports. For these reasons, Corporal Carroll has been selected as the Patrol Officer of the Year.
Corporal Megan Lau serves as a mounted police equestrian trainer for our division. This position includes additional duties and responsibilities involving the mounted section of Special Operations. She is our primary trainer for new horses and is a certified MPC TC instructor and a certified Level 3 expert mounted patrol training officer with the American Riding Instructors Association. During a trial period, she will ride the horse within various settings and with multiple stimuli to evaluate its potential as a police horse. Once the horse is approved as suitable for police work, the horse is assigned to a special operations officer. In 2020, Corporal Lau worked with 4 training horses, 2 of which arrived during mounted school. This was done while she prepared for mounted school and while she continued her patrol responsibilities. She assisted with the production of a virtual career day, which distributed to local schools 4 videos highlighting various specialties within the autism, intellectual, or developmental disability, or IDD community through our partnership with Montgomery County Police. This same year, Corporal Lau, as lead instructor, graduated 6 new officers through the 10-week basic horse mounted training hosted by our division. She updated our current mounted training manual and completed a new PowerPoint to bring a greater understanding to the class. These new additions to the mounted school show Corporal Lau's dedication to continually improve and expand upon our mounted training. Congratulations, Corporal Lau, for Special Operations Section Officer of the Year. Corporal Justin Andrews is the division's longest-serving canine officer and is a role model for the rest of the canine unit. He takes the time to ensure that he and his partners are always willing and ready to deploy for any situation that may arise. This can be shown in his commitment to training on a weekly basis. His dedication is evident in all aspects of training to include obedience, tracking, article searches, vehicle searches, and bite work. He and his canine partners Tango and Roxy excel with in-house and outside agency training. Corporal Andrews also accepted the challenge of becoming the division's first dual canine team and has been responsible for canines Tango and Roxy. He developed and implemented the in-house training program for the Bloodhounds, and it has been a resounding success. He is also the division's canine trainer and coordinates all training and certifications for the unit's canines. He also assists in the certification of Montgomery County Police canines, where he judges and certifies their patrol, bomb, and narcotics dog. He also works in cooperation with Anne Arundel Police and is an Ipawata certified master trainer. When he's not conducting his regular patrol duties, he is eager to assist allied agencies with calls. Corporal Andrews' dedication to training and to the expansion of the search and rescue efforts are an excellent representation of his devotion to the community and to the Park Police. Congratulations, Corporal Andrews, for your K-9 Officer of the Year.
Detective Deakins only began with the unit in May of 2019. He hit the ground running and has not slowed down. His eagerness and motivation in investigating cases is spectacular, and his closure rate is evidence of this. The state average for case closures is 24%. As of December 2020, Detective Deakins' closure rate is at 50%, which is remarkable for any detective, let alone a detective with under 2 years of experience. Although Detective Deakins is encumbered with case investigations, he still maintains his other duties and responsibilities. He is a certified field training officer, and he helps train the newest members of CIU. He is a dedicated employee who always maintains a positive attitude. He frequently assists other detectives on their cases. His skills and knowledge in criminal investigations has been recognized as both detectives and patrol officers seek his input and advice. He is highly self-motivated and can be counted on no matter the mission. For all these reasons, I am proud to present to him the Investigator of the Year Award.
Sergeant Francis Wolf III has been selected for Supervisor of the Year. Sergeant Wolf has shown excellent leadership and time management skills ever since he was promoted and assigned to the Montgomery County Division. This past year, Sergeant Wolf has been very active in the agency's search and rescue program. He conducted multiple call-outs for missing persons and suicidal persons, often resulting in Sergeant Wolf and his team locating the individual. Sergeant Wolf has worked jointly with different agencies, always exhibiting his vast knowledge, his abilities, and his passion for his work. He continually projects a positive image on both himself and the agency. Along with search and rescue, Sergeant Wolf has taken on the responsibility to be the field training and evaluation program supervisor. Sergeant Wolf is knowledgeable, well organized, and willing to do the work necessary to make the program successful. He is also able and willing to lend a helping hand to new officers who need guidance and mentorship. Sergeant Francis Wolf III is the Supervisor of the Year.
This award is for Senior Communications Technician Amanda Poor. Ms. Poor is truly an asset to the communications section and an invaluable member of the Park Police family. The 2020 pandemic created many challenges to the nation and to the Park Police. One of the burdens the pandemic created was staffing shortages due to health risks, childcare, and budgetary constraints. Ms. Poor helped her supervisor with creating and reviewing a staffing schedule for the communications section. She also volunteered to cover shifts as needed and even offered to give up her free time to allow for a coworker to receive a needed break from long hours of working. The pandemic also created stress and concern among staff. As a member of the department's peer support team, Ms. Poor makes herself available to officers and dispatchers alike after stressful incidents. Ms. Poor frequently reaches out to staff offering support. As a dispatcher, Ms. Poor handled numerous stressful incidents with calmness and professionalism. In June 2020, an assault on the Capitol Crescent Trail gained national attention. The media attention, public outrage about the incident brought on an onslaught of calls from news outlets seeking information to citizens calling to express their concerns. Some of the callers made vulgar and threatening statements towards our department. Ms. Poor handled each call in a calm and professional manner. Ms. Poor received a letter of commendation for her actions in handling those calls. In July 2020, Ms. Poor handled an incident involving a man with a gun that was inside a vacant park house. Ms. Poor handled this incident with poise, helping officers make a safe and successful arrest. In the beginning of the year, Ms. Poor received a call from a female who had locked her keys inside of her car on a rainy day. The caller advised that she was locked outside of the vehicle with her mother, who was in a wheelchair. Ms. Poor took all steps necessary to get the woman the assistance she needed. Her handling of this incident earned her Dispatcher of the Quarter. For her actions and performance, Ms. Poor is being recognized as Dispatcher of the Year. Congratulations, Amanda Poor.
On July 21st, 2020, the SAT team was conducting surveillance in Rockville on a subject who had allegedly committed a burglary at a commissioned facility. Unrelated to the burglary suspect, they observed a drug transaction take place during their surveillance operation. SAT members quickly intervened and arrested the subjects for the drug violation. During the subsequent course of the investigation, one suspect agreed to become a confidential informant and work with the Park Police liaison to Montgomery County's Drug Investigative Unit. It should be noted that 6 months later, the same CI and accomplice were identified in several theft from auto crimes at Cabin John Park and subsequently arrested. The arrest came quick because SAT recognized them from their previous arrest. The investigation and interagency cooperation revealed the accomplice was also a person of interest in a homicide that Montgomery County Police were investigating. The CI later arranged a drug buy with the accomplice. SAT began surveillance and followed the CI to a hotel in Bowie. A deconfliction protocol revealed the target was also under investigation by the DEA, who was trying to locate him. With SAT's information, the DEA set up surveillance on the target at the hotel in Bowie. Once DEA decided to effect the arrest, they asked Detective Rumsey to stand by and assist in the search of the hotel room. During the arrest, the DEA officers got into a violent altercation with the target, which turned into a Signal 13 call. Detective Rumsey immediately responded to assist and utilized his taser. The taser was ineffective and the suspect fled on foot. Detective Rumsey gave chase, caught up to him, was able to take the target to the ground. Although the target continued to fight the apprehension, Detective Rumsey was able to eventually get him into custody with the assistance of the DEA officers. Several officers involved in the incident were injured. Detective Rumsey demonstrated heroic actions at great personal risk, assisting DEA officers in a struggle to bring a violent offender to justice. For his brave actions, he is being awarded the Bronze Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our awards program, and we again thank you for joining us today. Once again, congratulations to all of the award winners, and I wish you all continued success. Thank you very much.